You're watching ESPN Holiday Hoops, presented by Zales. Christmas time in downtown Detroit. And we're at brand new Little Caesars Arena here in Motown, hosting college basketball for the first time. It's the Hitachi College Basketball Showcase. And game 2 of our Big Ten Horizon League doubleheader. It's Tom Izzo's #2 Michigan State Spartans taking on the Oakland Grizzlies. Michigan pounded Detroit Mercy earlier in game 1, and this is going to be fun here in game 2 alongside former Big South Player of the Year Brooke Weisbrod. I'm Clay Matvick. Merry Christmas to you. And Brooke, this might be the best defensive team Tom Izzo's ever had. Might be the best team he's ever had, period.
Well, when you hold North Carolina to 24% shooting, I'd say you're doing something right. And what's great about this Michigan State defense is that they have so many options. The guards get up in lane, they pressure, and then the bigs, they will follow the guards for the other team. Nick Ward, relentless, blocking North Carolina's shots, running the lane, and this is what it leads to, Clay. It's the fast break transition offense for Michigan State.
And the #1 field goal percent defense in the country, holding opponents to 33%. That's absolutely amazing. But then the offense shooting just under 49%, so they're getting it done on both ends. And for the Oakland Grizzlies to have their best chance today, they need Kendrick Nunn on the floor. And the good news is, Brooke, he is going to play.
Literally before this game, Greg Kampe came up to us and he said, we don't know if he's going to be able to play the entire season or if he's even going to go today or not. And he was barely cleared by the doctors just before the game. He's dealing with tendonitis in his right ankle. And to give you an idea of how good Kendrick Nunn is, we remember the name Kay Felder for Oakland. Kampe says he's Kay Felder at 6'4".
Michigan State starting 5, Winston, Langford, Bridges, Ward, and Jackson Jr. Jackson, the 6'11" freshman who can do it all. And Oakland, in their yellow digital camo uniforms for the first time in program history, has a pretty good team too. Neely, Daniels, Walker, Hayes, and Brock. Isaiah Brock, the 24-year-old sophomore from Baltimore who spent 4 years in the Army. He was on tour in the Middle East when Greg Kampe saw him playing over there and said, hey, how would you like to play some college basketball when you come back stateside? And it's worked out well for both parties. Michigan in the green uniforms. Michigan State in the green uniforms, I should say. Oakland in those neon digital camo. You're shaking your head, you know.
I don't know, I'm gonna need some time. You know, I do like the trim on them. They look very nice. And Oakland not afraid to go different uniforms. You see Michigan State early on attacking the rim. For a lot of this, that backdoor play, if Oakland wants to overcommit in the lanes.
B.J. Carstensen, Courtney Green, Larry Scarato are officials as Oakland sets up in the half court. Left hand from Jalen Hayes, the Lansing native, and the reigning Horizon League Player of the Week, but he comes up empty. Langford got it and one. Joshua Langford, one of Tom Izzo's amazing sophomores. He's got a chance at a three-point play.
Langford is one of my favorite players in the country to move without the basketball. And this is his goal, the mid-range jump shot. Langford's so good at the pull-up.
Langford, an 84% foul shooter. He went off for 23 against Carolina at PK 80, one of the great wins for Michigan State this year. Also a terrific win over Notre Dame, a couple of top 10 victories. Nick Daniels, the sharpshooter from nearby Westland, Michigan, John Glenn High School, gets Oakland on the board, and that's what Kampe's teams have been known to do over the years, run and shoot the three well.
Yeah, similar styles almost to Michigan State, and Greg Kampe telling us that his team's a lot more offensive power than they are defensively, but here in the go, you got to hit those shots at the bucket. Jalen Hayes with 2 short shots, 2 misses.
Cassius Winston will set it up. He's happy to be playing in his hometown today. The Detroit native, the nation's best three-point shooter at 61%, tried to set up Jaren Jackson Jr. and it failed to click. You see Greg Kampe, an Oakland institution, only Jim Boeheim and Mike Krzyzewski have been at their schools longer in Division I currently in the country.
Yeah, Greg Campy has done a terrific job developing the program at Oakland. And, you know, minus an injury-riddled season here or there, or you could be looking at a top 25 team.
Jalen Hayes had it rejected by Ward, and he sticks with it to get it back for the Spartans. Impressive play. And that's what Jaren Jackson can do to you. Likely a top 10 pick in the NBA if he wants to come out.
How incredible is it at a 6'11", a freshman, to see him handle the ball, to spin and finish the way he does?
Point guard Neely out of control, lost it, out of bounds to Michigan State.
We talked about the defense for Michigan State. Look how well Ward moves without fouling. Gets the ball back, he's got that strength, and then watch this, a little shimmy shake, hesitation. Yeah, I could see that perhaps at the next level.
There's Nick Ward. You can see that his confidence is back, Brooke. At 17 points against Southern Utah in the team's last game. Coming off that bad night against Rutgers where he spent a lot of the time in that game on the bench next to Tom Izzo.
Jaren Jackson trying to get his shoe back on.
And
Nick Ward there to pick him up.
It's his first two.
And Jaren Jackson just threw his shoe right in front of me. He's playing without a shoe on his right foot.
It's going to be hard to defend that way, but he held his ground. But it's tipped up and in by Isaiah Brock. And Isaiah Brock next to Jalen Hayes. He's their best rebounder. He gets the stick back, and Oakland's within two.
6'8", 191 pounds. And he's such a force in the Horizon League. He's got to have a big assignment today to try to body up against Michigan State's bigs and bring something offensively.
Jackson set the pick with the one shoe, and he frees up Miles Bridges, the preseason All-American. I'll tell you, with one shoe, he's doing all right.
Maybe you should take the sock off, too. See how good he can really get.
Probably better traction.
Well, I hope nobody steps on his foot.
Kendrick Nunn. The three, and the officials are going to give Jaren Jackson a break here. They call an official's timeout so he can get his shoe back on. It was in the tender care of a Michigan State Spartans fan here on the sideline.
Yeah, you weren't letting that go anywhere, were you? It's like, this is for Instagram. I am now famous.
He went 1 minute and 25 seconds with one shoe and played well.
And got a block, right?
1 point game.
Registered.
Langford pulls up and got it. Joshua Langford averages 13. He's on the board. 15-plus points in 3 of the last 5 for the sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama. Michigan State back as the top 2 team in the country. They were number 2 in the preseason. Villanova, of course, reigning as number 1. Inside and getting it to go is Jalen Hayes.
Boy, tough pass. There's a bunch of Michigan State defenders in the paint, and they got that bounce pass in just the right place.
Timeout on the floor, 15:45 to go.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Hitachi. Drive your career at greatengineeringcareers.com. Wrangler. With new styles and great fits, Wrangler jeans are ready for anything. And Dr. Scholl's Massage and Gel insoles.
Clay Matvick, Brooke Risebrough back here in Detroit. We expected this game to be offensive. Set a good start. Tom Izzo's team shooting just under 49% on the year, on pace to have the best shooting mark in 14 years, and so far so good. They've hit 5 of their first 7.
I think he feels really good about this team this year. He likes the chemistry. He really likes the depth and the maturity level of his guys, considering he's got a team full of sophomores. Just incredibly mature. They execute on a high level, and I like what he had to say about, let's see how we react when people show us love. We could get some big wins, but still very early on in the season. I think Michigan State's been handling the pressure well. They responded very well after that loss to Duke.
Now working it inside to Gavin Schilling, the senior big man. Draws the contact. You were talking about the great sophomore class. Well, here it is. You lay it out on paper, and wow, impressive.
And then you go back to the PK80, where you had 3 different Spartans who led the team in scoring, and none of them were Miles Bridges. So it's not just number 22 that you got to keep your eyes on. You've got all-star potential in a lot of other guys. Bridges an All-American. And even guys like McQuaid out here on the floor, number 20, who's one of, in my opinion, one of the best offensive rebounding guards in the country. So it's relentless defense. It's sharing the ball on offense. Tom Izzo likes to get between 17 and 20 assists per game. And it's been really helpful for the Spartans. They average 18 a game. It's first in the Big Ten.
8-game winning streak for the Spartans. Kendrick Nunn rises up for another 3 attempt. It's going to stay on this end with Oakland.
Well, Nunn got good lift on that shot for having a bum ankle. And a reoccurring issue.
Missed 2 games last month. Missed their last game a week ago, and like you said, it was touch and go before the start of this one. They knew they had to have him to have their best chance today against the Spartans, and he's a go. Even at 80%,
right,
they'll take him.
And Greg Campy telling us it's actually an injury to the cartilage in his ankle. It's a post-tibia tendonitis. So it sounds like something that's going to get just inflamed with a lot of use. So rest is good for him, but great to see him on the floor today for Oakland in a game where they had to have some offense. You have to have none to be able to score and produce in this one.
We're going to give it back to the Spartans here. Kendrick Nunn, over 1,000 points at Illinois. He was dismissed in 2016, chose Oakland after watching the Grizzlies game against the Spartans a couple of years ago that went to overtime. The Spartans toe-to-toe with Oakland and snuck out a win. He said that's what inspired him to pick the Grizzlies after leaving Champaign.
Yeah, it was an incredible game. I had a blessing, really, to have called that, just to feel the environment and how hype it was. Of course, another Detroit game. It was played where the Pistons play, and great to see everybody in attendance today. We have a sellout, 22,000.
Hayes knocks it down. Jalen Hayes. He has really been playing well. He's got 4 early. Player
of the year potential. He put up 30 against Chicago State. His range has extended during his time, and that's nice defensive play for Oakland.
Grizzlies with numbers. And that's an offensive foul on Martez Walker.
And Ben Carter, so smart, sprints to the spot, feet in position toward the defender. In red, Martez Walker read that move perfectly. What a smart play by Ben Carter. It's what he gives you, those moments, right, where the momentum could go in Oakland's favor. Off the steal, can you capitalize? And instead, Michigan State and their defense once again able to shut it down.
Catch and shoot for Langford. Off the lip, trying to tap it up and in his coins. And it's out of bounds to Oakland. Well, Holiday Hoops continuing tomorrow afternoon with a great one. Number 7 North Carolina, number 20 Tennessee, 3 Eastern on ESPN. Michigan State beat Carolina by 18 at PK80. Spartans holding the heels to 25% shooting. You talked about that at the top. This is just an amazing, a stifling defense for Tom Izzo.
And one of the best defenses I've ever seen Michigan State play. First against Notre Dame and then against North Carolina. Held the Tar Heels again to that 24% from the floor.
Hayes with a sweet-looking left hand. Of course, they have 5 lefties on this team, 4 in the starting lineup.
That half hook so difficult to block, and Hayes has that nice length. And he grew up playing against some of these guys. He knows what kind of talent he's up against.
How about the dribbling by Ward to free himself? Got his own miss. And he'll go to the line.
Jalen Hayes got the ball on the block, and he's got good vision. Not a selfish player. If he's getting double teamed, he's going to kick it cross court. And knows he's got to be one of the lead scorers on this team. We talked about the 30 he had against Chicago State. And congratulations, he is a college graduate today. human resources development, got his degree. He said he can't walk in graduation because he's got to play. And he said, all right, just give us a highlight and cap it off with like a graduation walk. So we'll see if he heard us pregame.
Yeah, and he was suspended for the first 4 games of the season. Ironically for academics, it was kind of a fluke thing. Got it cleaned up. Now he's back. And Oakland, especially if they can get Kendrick Nunn completely healthy and get some of their injured players back. You said it before, Campy thinks he's got a top 25 team as Langford knocks it down from range. He's got 7. Michigan State goes back in front.
I believe that's the 3rd time we've seen him pull up mid-range to hit that jump shot. One player who studied the game with Michael Jordan, loved the mid-range game. That was my game too. I think you can get a billion shots if you're a guard. You just got to beat that first line of defense, and it's before the posts step up. How about the speed, but the block and the follow. Woo, Kenny Goins
rounding back into form after missing 4 games in November with a left knee sprain. He's one of their best defenders, but he can also score.
And you see the speed of Michigan State and how quickly they can turn a bad shot or a turnover into offense of their own. And we were here this morning watching their workout, their shoot around. There's no let up.
It's going to stay with Oakland when we come back. Tom Izzo's team leading by 3, under 12 timeout here in Detroit.
Jalen Hayes for the Oakland Grizzlies has been big in this game. He's got good position against some of the bigs from Michigan State. Also played very patiently, averaging 19 points a game this season, shooting 50%. Like that move, a little shimmy shake to get himself around with the half hook. And good for Oakland to have some success in the paint, knowing how difficult it is to go against that Michigan State defense.
1 of 3 players averaging over 19 points per game for Oakland. Nunn and Walker, the top 2 scorers in the Horizon League. They are the favorites in that league again this year, picked first. They won the regular season last year, then got upset in the conference tournament by Youngstown and ended up settling for the NIT. It's been a 1-bid league. They know that, even regardless how well they play during the regular season, it's probably going to come down to the Horizon League tournament. They want to be playing their best at that time. And it's good news that they're probably going to have Kendrick Nunn around come March.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine with the injuries that they've had? Brad Brechting, they'll have him back at the end of January. Javen Cumberland, he will probably need surgery, but dressed for this game. So the injury bug has just been critical and brutal to Greg Campy's club. And of course, we remember the great play of Kay Felder, who, had he stuck around, would still be playing. He probably would have graduated this year, but talk about having Nick Daniels, Jalen Hayes, Isaiah Brock, all those guys in the same lineup. That's a top 25 team for sure.
Nick Ward with the rebound, and then he's clobbered underneath the basket.
Number 10.
That's Isaiah Brock, his 2nd.
That's his 2nd personal and the 6th team foul.
16 fouls already on Oakland. None on the Spartans yet. Michigan State working it inside. Have yet to shoot a 3. Ward gets in close and scores. He's got 4.
Had total control of the ball in that possession, and you see how much Isaiah Brock had to lean into him just to try to keep him from backing him in. And so much strength. How about that shot? Kendrick Nunn. Greg Campy telling us he feels like he's a lottery pick. Terrific potential.
Ward scores, and a chance at a 3-point play. Great start to this game for Nick Ward.
And a smart play too, because if it works once, it's probably going to work again. And Brock will have to take a seat.
Yeah, that's their 3rd on Isaiah Brock. That's a big blow to the Grizzlies.
And for Oakland, they're not going to be able to front the post. You can't get in front of Ward. There's not enough size and strength on the backside to give you help. And that's big. You got 6'8", 190 pounds sitting on the bench.
Just a great game plan, though, from Tom Izzo. Just keep going back in, knowing that they're going to possibly get Brock out of this game, which they have done, and the lead goes to 5 for the Spartans.
The great coaches will recognize what's working and how their guys are executing and just stay on that. We've had a privilege of calling a couple of Gino Auriemma games, sat in on his huddles, and he says the same thing. If something's working, you go right back to it. Until they stop it, make them prove. Improve their defense.
Keeps it alive for the Spartans. And he'll catch and shoot here. Langford, a 41% three-point shooter. 6 games in double figures already this season. Had 9 last year. And off the turnover, Winston looking for help.
Play right now, Oakland doing too much dribbling. You can't go into a couple green jerseys and think you're going to make a play by putting the ball on the floor. It just doesn't work.
Tom Cotter doesn't have his hands full there with Ward. He missed the shot. In deep, Walker stays in bounds. Got the shot up, but can't finish. College football tonight on ESPN, 8 Eastern. Should be a shootout. Middle Tennessee and Arkansas State in the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. Bowl season.
Returning for the Golden Grizzlies, number 11, Braylon Neely.
It's the start of it here this weekend. You see Tom Izzo has great depth this year too. Look, 10 guys will probably hit the floor, maybe 11. He's got 10 guys averaging 9 minutes.
And that's, to me, what makes them so dangerous. They've got the all-stars, but when those guys go out and you got your 7 through 9 guys coming in, they're still giving you as much effort and productivity as the first team.
Xavier Tillman, the freshman out of Grand Rapids Christian High School, is going to get to the line. Fouls are now 8-0. Oakland already has a guy in foul trouble, and Isaiah Brock sitting on the bench with 3.
And Oakland started this game, they went inside to Hayes a couple of times, but to me, Michigan State's been the more aggressive team by far.
That's the second on Martez Walker. A 3-point ace from right here in Detroit. This has got to be driving Greg Campi crazy.
No question. That's why most coaches will say part of their game plan is to come out early, be aggressive, attack, because you got to set the pace. And if you don't, you're going to be playing on your heels against a team that loves to attack, and all of a sudden you find yourself with 17 fouls. And they have to change that mentality and start playing a little more downhill. Easy to say, hard to do, especially when you look at that number 22 and some of the big guys down there. I mean, their size is very intimidating. I'm not challenging Nick Bridges or Miles Bridges, excuse me. I'm not going up against him or Nick Ward, not in the post. No way.
Well, they gave that last foul, the first of the game for Michigan State, to Jaren Jackson. And that's not going to change. So here's Oakland, under 10 minutes to go, first half. Down 5. Rising up, Kendrick Nunn. He's off the mark. Skying in is Winston for the rebound. And the pass ahead is out of the reach of Matt McQuaid.
And Tom Izzo looking at Cassius Winston, saying, it's okay. I'll give you that one.
Third turnover for the Spartans. Spartans players were here in this building, Little Caesars Arena, last week to watch Draymond Green and the Warriors play the Pistons last week in a team-building exercise. So these guys have been in the building, they just have never played here before. It's got to be an exciting time, especially since there's so many Michiganders on this team. There's Kendrick Nunn again. Bridges get to the line. That's on Walker. That's his third. So Walker and Brock both with 3 personals.
This is a horrific start for Oakland. Because now how do you play aggressive? You may have to switch to a 2-3 zone just to protect some of your guys to stay in the game at this point. And you're definitely small. And with Michigan State only having a 4-point lead right now, they're in a lucky position. The Grizzlies are. You're going to have to count on Nunn to really take over this game and keep them in it.
Miles Bridges gets them both. Coming off his 9th career double-double, 17 points, 11 rebounds against Southern Utah. Also had 6 assists in that game, which matched a career high. Cotter backing down. Bridges got the shot off and missed it.
Such an aggressive rebounder. I love the way he goes after it.
Jackson was ready to go in strong, but it went off his knee.
Right, he was ready to rip that rim down. We'll go back in and take another look at this one. The quick hands. Kendrick Nunn able to stop that play from happening.
Greg Campy is going to call Jalen Hayes back into the game despite the 2 early fouls. Doesn't have a lot of options. And Julius Palmer,
And also taking the floor,
the big man from Detroit, is going to come in for the first time for the Grizzlies. JUCO transfer right here in Motown. Lead is just 5 for Michigan State, so Oakland, despite the shortcomings today, hanging around. Nunn drives, and there's a foul. That's Matt McQuaid's first.
And McQuaid, for as quick as his footsteps are, laterally just impossible for him in this first half to stay in front of Kendrick Nunn. Good defender, but Nunn, that first step so explosive, able to shake McQuaid off him.
McQuaid, too, he can score on occasion. We've seen that, 20 points against DePaul at PK 80, and now there's a warning on Greg Campy for being outside of the coach's box, which they have extended this year, but it's still not enough room for Campy as DJ Karstensen just shoot him back behind the line.
Don't miss out on the madness right here at Little Caesars Arena as Detroit Mercy and Oakland.
24-19, Michigan State, the number 2 team in the country. Holiday Hoops presented by Zales. This is game 2 of a doubleheader in the Hitachi College Basketball Showcase at Little Caesars Arena here in downtown Detroit. We saw Michigan just clobber Detroit Mercy in game 1. And Michigan State, Brooke, everybody's favorite to win the Big Ten. Although Purdue has looked pretty good here in the early season. Beat Butler today handily, but so far so good here for Tom Izzo's Spartans against Oakland.
Yeah, I'd say a good start. Certainly the defensive start that he would like to see. McQuaid, I like this matchup. He and Kendrick Nunn. And the shot clock gonna run out.
Yeah, that's out of a timeout. Really no excuse for that. Oakland, which at times has been really sloppy in fundamentals. We've seen that certainly on the defensive end. They've got 3 guys in foul trouble.
Yeah, it certainly should never happen coming out of a timeout. You gotta have clock awareness and have that play set up. And Nunn just forgot where he was.
Here's Tum Tum Nairn, senior from the Bahamas, working the point now for Tom Izzo's Spartans. Nice pass. Goins got it to go. But how about the feed from Matt McQuaid?
Great look against a 1-3-1 zone defense for Oakland. You got to reverse the ball, cross court, keep the zone open. That's going to lead to those inside buckets.
Braylon Neely. Out to Nunn. His 3-pointer doesn't go, but Oakland's got it back.
I mean, look at the spacing. The ball's going to go from here all the way to the other side of the court, and that's how you move against the zone. Able to get right underneath, slicing through the defense. Terrific pass and look from McQuaid.
Just the 1 3-point attempt for the Spartans so far, 0 for 1. And all their damage inside the arc. Palmer. Good defense by Goins. Doesn't go for Neely, and here come the Spartans. Langford. Oh, that was a pretty touch.
You got to recognize that. Langford, you cannot choose to go under the screen, and that was a beautiful brush screen to get him open from Goins.
Just a smooth stroke for Josh Langford. He's got 9 now. Palmer. Good feed from Nunn, missed the shot in close. And skying in is Nick Ward for the rebound. McQuaid, got it! Matt McQuaid has struggled at times from outside the arc this year, under 30%. Buries the 3 here as the lead goes to a dozen on a 9-0 run for the Spartans.
It's a 30-second timeout.
First 3-pointer of the game for Michigan State forces an Oakland timeout.
And it's done off of an assist You got the transition offense. Michigan State already at 6 in this game on 12 field goals. Such an unselfish team. And we talked about Matt McQuaid and his defense, the way he attacks the glass, but also can shoot the three. He had 6 of them in the game against DePaul.
50% from the floor are the Spartans today. 12 of 21.
McQuaid working off those screens, following none. Good position from Hayes.
Goins able to get the rebound after Hayes missed the shot in close over the top of him.
You don't have the ability and the luxury to miss those close shots. If you're Oakland, you got to capitalize on everything. He's still sticking with that zone. Is there in foul trouble?
Deep three-point attempt. Langford sails in for the rebound. There's a foul underneath. It's going to go against Kendrick Nunn, his first. And Goins is going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Kenny Goins. And the Spartans got the double bonus. Thanks to all of the fouls that have piled up here on the Grizzlies in the first half. Martez Walker with 3 personals. Isaiah Brock, he got 3 very early. And Jalen Hayes also with a couple.
We have yet to see Martez Walker, who just grabbed that rebound, score in this game. And Kendrick Nunn with 8. And Hayes with 6. And a quiet afternoon from everyone else. Martez Walker's got to be big in this game. I mean, he comes in averaging 21 points. Shoots almost 50% from the floor. And not easy to get open when you got number 22 nearby.
Kansas held him in check too, Brooke. They held him to 7 points on 1 of 9. You know, when the competition is increased this year, he's had a tougher time. 2 of the 4 losses for Oakland to Kansas and Syracuse. No shame in that, obviously, but didn't play well in either of those games either. I mean, they're not playing well here today. There's a foul here on the Spartans.
Spartans foul number 1, Joshua Langford. That's his first personal.
Langford's first.
The better movement offensively. You're seeing a lot of curling off the screens tight to try to get back into the paint and get to the free throw line. So what I like about Oakland's offense is that they're not settling for outside jump shots. They're not trying to over dribble. They're using what they can, reading the screens of the defense to get some points.
First one's good.
You noticed Kendrick Nunn favoring that ankle at all today?
I don't see it. I think he's been able to be very explosive.
They're calling it tendonitis. It's a slight tendonitis issue with that right ankle from an old injury. The good news is it's not going to force him to be shut down this year. Oakland nearly sprung a turnover. Under 5 to go here first half. Michigan State has led really from the outset. 3 doesn't go for Langford. Hayes, kick it back out, still 10 to shoot. Daniels, step back 3. And he is fouled by Langford. He'll go to the line for 3. Now Langford mad at himself there as he fouled the jump shooter and gave 3 shots at the line to Daniels. Second on Langford.
Shooting 3.
That's exactly what Tom Izzo's telling Langford.
Oh, hands down, man down? Is that what he was saying? Something like that. Yeah, just not good defensive assignment for Langford.
Second shot.
Greg Campy with an interesting tactic. This is not something he's just doing in this situation. We've seen him do it throughout the season. He sends all of his defenders back into the backcourt.
You have a lot of confidence in your free throw shooters. And it certainly helps take away any fast breaks off the free throw miss. And for Michigan State, you're going to try to slow them down any way you can, that's for sure.
So Daniels gets all three. They've still gone close to 5 minutes without a field goal. That swirls in for McQuaid. That's his second three. Michigan State goes back on top by double digits. It's a 10-point lead with 4 minutes to go in the half. Daniels thought about it. Walker trying to take Bridges and thinks better of it. Walker over Bridges from three. Jackson clears the rebound.
You know, I don't know if there's two better players at guarding the screen and roll than Nick Ward and Miles Bridges. And they just did it for each other on that last possession. But they cover so much ground and they're so quick laterally, besides being huge, that it makes it impossible to create anything off those screen and rolls. There's just no options.
And Nick Ward wanted a foul there, didn't get it. Chance for Oakland to cut it back to single digits, but Cotter can't handle it. Now tipped at half court. Nunn comes away with it. Numbers for the Grizz. And Hayes can't finish at the rim, but he will go to the line when we come back. It's a 10-point game here in Detroit.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Zales. 'Tis the season to save and sparkle more than ever. And Cabela's. Get to Cabela's for all of your hunting, fishing, and camping needs. Cabela's. It's in your nature.
Tom Izzo's team playing great defense again today. Leading by 10. 34-24 with just over 3 minutes to go in the first half. Coming up on the Zales halftime report, an upset at the rack. Steve Pikiell had really done a great job with that Rutgers program, which was in the dumps when he took over a couple years ago. And the Hurricanes prevail. That's all coming up at the half.
I had Steve Pikiell's game at the Northeastern Conference Championship between Stony Brook and Vermont a couple years ago. And Pikiell did a terrific job getting that championship, and you just knew, you felt that a bigger program was going to come calling soon, and they did.
Look at the defensive numbers here in the first half for the Spartans. Coming into the day, holding opponents to 33% shooting. By far the best in the country. They're even doing better than that today, as Oakland has gone about 6 minutes without a field goal. Some points at the line here the last few trips, but they're not shooting it well. And Michigan State defense is a big reason why. Here's Nunn off the turnover.
We're in the point guards for Michigan State. Some miscues today. Cassius Winston with a few turnovers, and Tum Tum Nairn. You never want to jump and then figure out if you're going to pass it.
Three doesn't go for Bridges, but that Nunn basket, the first field goal in about 6 minutes. How about Oakland hanging around in this game, Brooke, despite all the foul trouble, despite the lousy shooting? Yeah,
it's pretty surprising to see what they've gone through in this first half, shooting just 33%. The foul trouble, and still staying in this game. And that's what Kendrick Nunn will do for you. He's got 12.
Bridges picks up his second. Again tomorrow, Roy Williams and the Tar Heels in Knoxville to take on Rick Barnes and the Vols, 3 Eastern on ESPN. So here's Kendrick Nunn to the line. Nunn leading everybody in this game with 12 points. He's 2 of 2 at the stripe. Not bad for a guy at 80%.
Can you imagine what we'd see if he was at 100? Greg Campy telling us that he feels like he's going to be a lottery pick, that he's a Kay Felder type player, 6'4", and you talk about another lottery pick, Miles Bridges. Man, love the way he plays the game and how he's engaged in the game. He wants the big play, but he wants it on defense. It's not like give me the ball on offense, let me be a show-off. He's trying to make the big dunk, the block, the pick, whatever you need.
He's on the bench now with a couple of personals, and there's a foul on Cotter. Tom Cotter with that elbow in the back of Nick Ward. Cotter came back to Oakland after 1 season at Wayne State. He started his career at Oakland. He's back in a Grizzlies uniform. Ward will go to the line.
Will shoot 2.
Couple of foul shots. 6'8", Spartan. Ward with 8 here in the first half. And the Spartans go back up 36-29, 7-point lead for Michigan State. First game in downtown Detroit since the 2009 National Championship game loss to North Carolina for the Spartans when they played that game at Ford Field. I'll tell you what, Kendrick Nunn is keeping the Grizzlies' hopes alive of pulling an upset today.
Well, knowing to get another steal for Oakland, good job.
And the foul on Goins.
Yeah, Daniels got in the lane. Good quick hands and anticipation. Yeah, but Nunn, he's reading screens so well, knowing the defense is right behind him. Matt McQuaid just a step behind, so he does a good job of curling, coming off that screen, catches the ball, plants his feet hard. So on the catch, you can literally just turn on your foot, your inside foot, and elevate, push off with the other one. You would ask me about his ankle. I mean, doesn't seem to be bothering him. That's where adrenaline, though, that's where that takes over.
Shooting 1-1. Nicky D. And the first one's good.
Daniels at the line.
All right, here's Nick Daniels. You'll watch him get involved in the play. This is good help side anticipation. You see him waiting to watch McQuaid make that pass. Good job by reading the eyes for Nick Daniels.
Daniels gets 1 of 2 at the stripe. Oakland down just 4 to the number 2 team in the country. McQuaid, another 3. At this time. Stan Scott in the game now. For Greg Campy's team, the rookie of Pennsylvania had 15 in their last game against Chicago State. 1 and done.
And you see what Campy's trying to do is say, hey, spread the defense out, go 1-4. Let Kendrick Nunn do what he does best, a one-on-one, trying to pull up for the 3 against McQuaid.
Spartans need a good possession here, Brooke.
Yeah, they do.
Nairn kicks it out. Winston has been quiet offensively. Drives, the extra pass, and too hot to handle for Ward.
Yeah, it's too hard for him to see that ball, really. A difficult pass from Winston. I see what he was trying to do. Gotta make the easy play.
Cotter left alone. And that's going to be a foul on McQuaid.
Starts foul on number 20, Matt McQuaid.
His second, so Michigan State now with the fouls starting to pile up here before halftime.
On the line to shoot 1-1 for the Grizzlies.
And Cotter's going to go to the line.
And Izzo looked at McQuaid and said, McQuaid, do not foul. All the guidance that you need sometimes from Coach Izzo.
First one's good. 1 more for Tom Cotter.
Cotter gets 1 of 2. Lead is 3 for Michigan State. Started hot in this game from the field. They've cooled off over the last few minutes. Nairn to Winston. This is a long 2. In and out. Tipped up and in. And Greg Campy wants a goaltending call. They call it a basket on the floor. They may go to the monitor on this one. Campy was saying it was up on the rim when it was touched.
Yeah, we'll take another look at this. Man, ball really does almost go all the way in, doesn't it? Now, it looked to me like it was off the rim at that point. How much more in could that ball go before it jumps out?
So it's a basket given to Nick Ward. 38-33 with 25 seconds to go. And Kendrick Nunn has done a great job despite that injured right ankle.
He's had to create the offense, sometimes by himself for Oakland. So when he's got the matchup on McQuaid, he can take him one-on-one, got a few steals, and this is one of the screens I really like the way he came off, read that, got his feet ready to shoot. Not gonna have a whole lot of time to fire. You got a quick guy like McQuaid trailing, plus the help side defense. You got to take your shots when you can get them. And Nunn have done a good job today of taking those and making them. 5 of 10 from the floor.
Top scorer in the Horizon League. First and only year at Oakland, and he's making the most of it despite the injury.
For Michigan State, number 34,
and the Grizzlies
also chipping in
are hoping this is a 2-point game at the half, perhaps. With their propensity to shoot the three, that's likely the option they'll take. Nunn drives, and it deflected. The stick back doesn't go for Palambizio. That's going to be a jump ball. And the possession arrow is going to keep it with the Grizzlies with 2.3 to go before half.
And a good move to give Nunn the ball and give him that first option to shoot. I think you give it right back to him again. I'm going to run off a couple screens and try to hit a three.
It'll be Nick Daniels to trigger it in. Daniels gets it in. Palambizio had it stripped, and that's how the first half is going to come to an end. Palambizio wanted the foul, no whistle. Oakland, though, amazingly in this game, thanks in large part to Kendrick Nunn. They had a ton of foul trouble in that first half. Only down 5. Nick Ward 11 to lead the Spartans. Adnan Burke in the studio right after these commercials. This halftime report is presented by Zales. 'Tis the season to save and sparkle more than ever. Michigan State and Oakland at the half here in downtown Detroit. It is time to get to know Miles Bridges from Michigan State. Here's another edition of Who Am I?
Who am I? I'm a sophomore forward for the Michigan State Spartans. 3 things you don't know about me. I want to open up a basketball camp for kids in the future. I got basketball lessons from Team Cleaves and Morris Peterson, one of the 2 best Flintstones. And I wanted to play football, but my mom wouldn't let me. Who am I? I am Miles Bridges.
Great stuff from the Michigan State big man. The Spartans and the Grizzlies at the half here at Little Caesars Arena. This has been the Zales Halftime Report. Back in a moment.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Zales. 'Tis the season to save and sparkle more than ever. And Wrangler. With new styles and great fits, Wrangler jeans are ready for anything.
You're watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops presented by Zales. The Hitachi College Basketball Showcase from Little Caesars Arena in downtown Detroit. First college basketball games ever played in this arena. And every time these 2 schools get together on a neutral floor, it's been close. And we've got another close one at half, even though I don't know how. Alongside Brooke Weisbrod, I play Matvick. A lot went wrong for Oakland in that first 20 minutes, but here they are, only down 5.
Yeah, you look at the box score and you say, how were they able to stay in this game with 2 starters with 3 fouls? And a couple things you can look at. Well, first, they've had to defend Nick Ward, and it hasn't been easy. 11 points, 9 rebounds, and he's the guy that got Isaiah Brock into big-time foul trouble. Such a huge body, he's physical, and he is relentless on the glass. One of the bright spots for Oakland has been Kendrick Nunn. He's been able to get shots like this. He's had to create a lot on his own, coming off screens, and a good heads-up defensively for him to get involved. He's got 16 points, shooting 5-11. But Oakland's been able to stay in this game because there are 9 Michigan State turnovers. Those have led to 7 points, and Kendrick Nunn's 16 points have certainly helped.
Yeah, and he's doing it all on a sore right ankle.
Right.
It was a game-time decision. First half stats brought to us by Zales. 2 Oakland starters with 3 fouls, Walker and Brock. Martez Walker coming into the day, averaging 21 points per game, none in the first half. And Oakland as a team shot 31%, but here we go. It's a 5-point game as we're underway in the second half.
Your starting 5 gave you 16 points in that first half. So did Kendrick Nunn.
And Oakland with a chance to cut the deficit even more. McDaniels 7 points in the first half for the Grizzlies. He's going to lob it down on the baseline. The defense there as Brock was cut off. Isaiah Brock playing with 3 personals. Hayes is fouled by Nick Ward, who had 11 points, 9 rebounds in the first half, and he picks up his first foul of the game.
His first personal on the first team foul.
Jalen Hayes to start this game. Some of those same moves. And I like the thought of going back inside to start this game. You can't really open the game up until you're successful at getting to the rim and scoring inside. So for the Grizzlies, just keep pounding it in. And when you've got the shots, take them, and when you don't, kick it back out. But get some movement involved in your offense. The worst thing you could do is over-dribble and over-pass against this Michigan State team.
Got them both. 9 for Jalen Hayes. We get a chance to talk to him. I know you know him pretty well. Really good young man. And like you said, he graduated today, even though he's not able to walk and get that diploma handed to him. Very proud young man this afternoon.
Incredible leader for this team. And, you know, academically, incredibly dedicated to getting his degree and everything that happened with the NCAA at the beginning of the season. I wish they had taken a closer look at what was really going on, because he wasn't slacking off classes, he wasn't doing poorly, he chose a tough major and was suspended initially, I think, for 10 games. They had to petition to move it back to 4. So, you know, just one of those things that you wish had been, I don't know, a little more common sense, I think, by the NCAA in that matter.
They're going to go to the monitor here because that last foul was called against Isaiah Brock. That would be his 4th, but I think he could make a case it was not on him. But the officials are going to go over and take another look. This is a big, big review because if it is on Brock, it's his 4th, and we might not see him for a long time.
Brock's certainly got a piece of the right arm. You see on that angle. There it is.
Well, they are actually going to change it to Nick Daniels, number 2.
It's a lucky break for Oakland.
Huge break.
Because showing through the replays, you couldn't barely see the foul from Daniels, and Brock was a lot more evident.
So that's the 2nd on Daniels, as Greg Campy and Oakland fans here in the building heave a big sigh of relief. Ward at the line, the lefty misses. Another foul shot coming, but all in all, it's been a good game today for Nick Ward, who continues to see his confidence come back after the down game against Rutgers. A lot was made of it, especially in the media. Tom Izzo with that butt shoot, you might say, on the sideline, and dejected Ward, but he has come back strong the last couple of games. So now, and another foul here in the 3rd. Personal against Jalen Hayes, so now he has 3. Bridges can't get it to go. Ward! Great work by Nick Ward.
How about the timing to keep the play alive? I mean, if there's anybody else in this country that reads the ball off the glass, the rebounding the way he does, he's so athletic, but he's a relentless rebounder. I love the way he times it, and then the energy and the zest that he goes after it. So exciting to watch.
13 points now for Ward. He's got another rebound. He's got a double-double. Bridges will slow it up here in the half court. Bridges driving on the baseline, kicks to Winston. Here's Langford for 3. It's short. And another foul underneath, and it's on Jalen Hayes, his 4th.
Here's Nick Ward right here. Just watch how he pursues the basketball off this play. Behind the defender, muscles through 3 guys, tips it to himself. Then he goes up amongst 4 guys and gets the score. Some NBA team's going to be real happy to have Nick Ward on the roster.
Hayes goes to the bench as Greg Campy re-enlists Chris Palambizio. 6'6" sophomore from Chesterton, Indiana, back into the game, number 15 for Oakland, as Hayes has 4, Isaiah Brock has 4, and there's Ward with 2 more for Michigan State.
Perfect execution against the 2-3 zone. You got that short corner spot just off the lower block. That's always open against a 2-3. So if you can get it to the middle of the paint or that short corner, you can get a basket every time.
Deep 3, Daniels, no. Boy, Martez Walker's really going to have to pick up his scoring. I know he's got 3 fouls, but they need him right now. Numbers for the Grizz, it's a 4-on-1. Nunn with the flush and 1. Trying to get back to defend. Jaren Jackson commits the foul, and it'll be a chance at 3 for Nunn.
Even with the bum ankle, able to explode in the open floor. How about that? Good lead ahead from Nick Daniels. And to finish the play over a 6'11" Jaren Jackson. Kendrick Nunn, he's ready for the big time. He likes the spotlight.
How he was able to elevate that much despite the foot problem.
Again, you go back to adrenaline, right? And then knowing you're getting chased down from Jaren Jackson, you got to get that ball in the rim quick.
That was the 3rd on Jackson, who has it now at the free throw line. Kicks it into the corner. It's a 3-point game. Tum-tum there in the floater. Nick Ward, he was near the rim, was hands off that time as it was laying up there on the rim. And it went down anyway for Nair. Nunn, single-handedly trying to will Oakland to the upset today.
The only Oakland player in double digits. He's got 22. Shooting a nice 50% on the day.
Ward, and couldn't get it.
Sounded like it went in, but it didn't.
Right through the net. Walker got it and 1. Martez Walker with his first points, and he can give Oakland the lead.
Martez Walker, welcome to Little Caesars Arena. We've been waiting for you to show up. And that's a big shot for Oakland. Well, that will inject some confidence into this team, foul trouble or not.
Well, he's had only one other game this year without a 3. That was the game at the Fog against Kansas. He gets his first 3 in this one to tie it up at 44, and he can give Oakland the lead back.
I've been watching Walker this whole game, and he's been working real hard to get open and to get the ball, but Michigan State has just neutralized him offensively. They've had to pay so much attention to Nunn that Walker's just not getting the ball. And a good double team down low, that's going to be a foul. And Nick Daniels, no need to reach in at that point. You got a good trap. See what happens out of that. I think that's what Martez Walker is reminding him right now. Hey guys, we don't have a lot of fouls to be able to just go in and hack away. Be smart with your position.
See the foul trouble for both teams. Jackson and Bridges each with 3. Hayes with 4. And 3 other players with 3 for the Grizzlies. Oakland's first lead since the 13:21 mark of the first half. Langford had it blocked by Brock. Ward, he's hacked. That's a foul on Kendrick Nunn. And Ward and Nunn exchange glances as Ward will go to the line.
Well, this is going to be close. It came close to a shot clock violation. That's what Greg Campy wanted. And after the tie-up, going after the 50-50 ball. And they may need to take another look at this, because I could hear the shot clock buzzer go off before Ward was able to put that ball down.
Is currently under review.
And the officials are at the table.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I think they'll come out of this with the shot having not counted.
How about Oakland? They've never beaten Michigan State. This is a rivalry that's been played almost every year for the last decade or more. And the neutral site meetings have been especially close here in recent years. And we've got another one that is close. And you make the call. What do you think?
Well, that last replay, you could see when he went up, there was still a 1. You see in the reflection of the backboard. So although I heard the buzzer go off, on the second look, you see there the light was on at the top. This is going to be a really close call.
TJ Karstensen, Courtney Green, Larry Scarato, the officiating crew here today.
I think they're trying to obviously see, too, if the foul was called for the shot attempt, and I think that's what we've got.
I'm going to say there was 1 second on that shot clock.
Yeah, I think that's the right call, because, at first it seemed as though the shot, it didn't happen, but before the whistle, before the shot clock went off, at a second look, that's the right call. And that's why we have instant replay. You want to make sure at a game like this, 1 point, get it right.
So Ward gets 2 shots. A 64% foul shooter misses the front end. 15 points for Ward. 3 of 6 at the line today. Missed them both. Oakland's going to be playing here in the postseason again this year. The Horizon Tournament will be right here at Little Caesars Arena. This is the 5th year in the Horizon League for the Grizzlies, the favorite to win that league. Trying to knock out the #2 team in the country here today. 5 seconds to shoot. Deep 3, Daniels, no. And Ward grunts as he goes up for that rebound. Here comes Langford. The handoff, Jackson got it! How about that? Going to the other side of the rim and drawing the contact. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play when we come back.
An entire play was broken from the start. And sometime there, lost control of the basketball, got it back. Langford lost control. Sharon said, I got this, guys. Don't worry about it.
Close one here in Detroit. It's a 1-point lead for the Spartans. Oakland, which has been in foul trouble seemingly since the first minute or 2 of this ball game. Isaiah Brock now on the bench with 4 personal fouls. Jalen Hayes also with 4. There's Miles Bridges. He's been very quiet today for the Spartans.
Yeah, there's not been a whole lot of offensive production really for Michigan State. Just Ward really in double figures. Langford with 9. So we're waiting to see what Bridges is going to do in this game. Does it feel like Michigan State about to break out at any moment?
Jackson couldn't complete the 3-point play. Oakland, great effort today, especially from that man, Kendrick Nunn. The former Illini has found a happy home with the Oakland Grizzlies, and they go back in front by a deuce.
They're going to have to stay in this zone, which is interesting to see how Michigan State responds to this zone, because we saw what happened to them against Duke. And Langford able to hit that 3. Martez Walker trying to follow up again. What? Another 3-point and 1 opportunity. Martez, okay.
Second 3 of the half. And Martez Walker will step up to the line. Boy, Tom Izzo, this is going to drive him nuts.
Yeah, silly fouls. I mean, just a touch foul. He was able to get the shot off cleanly. 2 threes in this second half for Martez Walker after a bagel in the first.
52-49. 8 points in the second half for Walker after being shut out in the first 20 minutes. Winston drops it down for Goins. And he missed the jump shot. Jackson sticks it back, and he'll go to the line. Jaren Jackson, offensively so far in this game, quiet, but maybe waking up late.
And against the zone, you've got to box out. Jackson with better position. Walker, it's a smaller body. You see him kind of put his hands on his head after that play, knowing he should have done a better job putting a body on Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson. As has a bright future in this game. Dad played at Georgetown in the 80s. Jaron had an NBA title with the Spurs in '99. Son looks like he's headed to a big career in the NBA too. How about Kendrick Nunn? His third three of the second half. He's got 28. Attacking Bridges. Winston thought about the three, instead lobs it down low, and Bridges can't hold on.
It's making the easy play. It's giving Michigan State issues against this zone. They have to find a way to flash middle, get it there, and then look short corner. You've got the size advantage, so be patient. The guards from Michigan State today have been turning the ball over. They've already got 13. Cassius Winston has 6 turnovers.
You see the concern on Tom Izzo's face. He knew this was going to be a battle. He said Greg Campy's got the best team he's ever had. Nunn looked like he was bumped by Bridges, and then Goins steps in for the turnover. Langford attacks, floats it up and scores. Big basket for the Spartans.
He really can change what he wants to do midair. He's so graceful at getting to the bucket. Just love the way that he moves with and without the basketball. He's so smooth.
Langford now with 14, 7th game this year in double figures. Walker around Bridges. Ball comes out. It's going to belong to Michigan State. With 13:09 to go here in Detroit. College football, the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Middle Tennessee and Arkansas State. Blue Raiders and the Red Wolves. It's also available streaming live on the ESPN app. Upset alert here at Little Caesars Arena, Michigan State, number 2 in the nation behind Villanova. And that doesn't go. Bridges again begging for a foul, coming back down the floor.
Still talking, saying, hey, he got me at the wrist. Let's see how much that fuels him up playing defense.
Nick Ward, big game for him, 15 points, 14 rebounds, getting ready to check back in for the Spartans. McDaniels going to work, but it rolls off. Bridges ahead of everybody. Fouled hard by Palambizio, and the officials have to come in and separate.
Good job by Izzo to calm his team down. Bridges obviously going to be hot after not getting the call, then has a chance to go up for a dunk, and this is a hard foul, no question. Did go in for the ball. Don't think he tried to do anything excessive or intentional.
Yeah,
and Bridges just took some exception to that hard foul. And Palambizio just trying to avoid a dunk and trying to avoid Michigan State picking up that momentum. And great job by the officials to get involved quickly and early.
Yeah.
We don't need to see any kind of that in this arena.
DJ Carstensen, the lead official here today. He's the tall guy there who's follically challenged.
That was a good way to put it. All right.
It is. But he did a terrific job to get in there before tempers flared out of control.
Yeah. So back to playing basketball, but you know, with this rivalry the way it is, the score where it is, the tension building up, you know, the crowd really starting to get into this one.
In for the Spartans, Tum Tum Nairn and Nick Ward.
So Nick Ward is back in. Tum Tum Nairn comes in too. As Jackson and Langford get a blow for Michigan State. Good job at the line for Bridges. Put Michigan State back in front by 1.
And this may just have lit the fire for Michigan State in their defense. This is an important possession for Oakland.
Points for Nunn, looking for more. Backside rebound comes to Winston. Winston taking it himself, knifing right in.
We're talking about putting the defense to sleep. Great ball control and recognition for Winston.
First field goal for Cassius Winston, the Detroit native, finally making a contribution on the offensive end. Nunn looking for help. 5 to shoot. Walker. Yeah! How about that? And we're tied again. Winston. No. Ward, another rebound. New shot clock. Bridges. Got it. In the short corner.
How about this matchup right now between Bridges? Boy, just answering the call. He and Martez Walker going back-to-back shot for shot in this second half.
Back and forth we go here in Detroit. Oh, this has turned into a great fight. A fight Joe Louis would be proud of.
No doubt.
Cotter, shot fake, throws it up with the right hand, nothing there. Nairn quickly to Bridges, skip pass. Winston appeared he wasn't ready for it, and he hoists a 3 that's off the mark. Walker wasting no time. And the quick trigger bears no fruit.
Yeah, he checked for Walker, but the pressure wasn't there.
Bridges. Oh, this tempo's crazy. Winston for 3. Yeah! And now Oakland appears out of gas. Yeah, they want a timeout.
Well, a great way to make up for a day where you're turning the ball over 6 times. Figure out a way to score. Cassius Winston. Hesitation. Pretty move. That's changing speeds in the Motor City. From 0 to 60 in 1 second. You want to cap it off with a 3 from Walker. Boy, this game is awesome.
Here's our game summary with exactly 10 minutes to go here in the second half. 63-58, Michigan State leading Oakland. The Grizzlies called that last timeout because they needed one. You could kind of tell as they walked the ball up the court before that timeout. And they might get an extended break here because the next whistle will go back to break. But how about Kendrick Nunn?
He's been outstanding. I mean, he is everything as advertised. Greg Campy telling us before the game that he is a lottery pick. And the way he's been able to take over tonight, 5 of 10 from 3, 28 points. And we'll see if he's got the stamina to go the distance.
Oakland 6 of 10 from 3 here in the second half. Walker dropping it down. Hayes spinning against Jackson. It rolls off the rim, out of bounds. Who's got it? It's going to stay with Oakland, and here's that break we were talking about. 9:43 to go here in Motown. Don't go away.
It's been the three-point shooting for Oakland that's kept them in this game. Kendrick Nunn, he's got 5. And has gotten a lot of help from this man in the second half. Martez Walker had no points in the first half. And the Grizzlies have been able to respond with a lot of confidence here in the second half. Keep this game alive. And who knows, can they go the depth? That's the big question, because Michigan State has a roster that goes 8 to 10 deep. And you are looking at the primary scorer for Oakland, so he's going to have to take over and continue to do so for the Grizzlies.
Kendrick Nunn's career high is 36. He's going to get the line here. Is that another foul against the three-point shooter for Michigan State? 3rd time that has happened for the Spartans. This time it's Nairn.
You just feel that he made a mistake on that shot, trying to go up for it. Let's see. Just a slight touch. You got to contest and have enough discipline. That's what they do. You're talking about one of the best defenses in the country in Michigan State. It's crazy to me that they fouled 3 times on 3-point plays. Very uncharacteristic.
One more coming for Nunn.
And one more for Kendrick.
Man's going to need some antacid after this one, win or lose.
Coach Izzo said he's in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
And He's got guys that don't give him a whole lot of problems, but today the fouls might put a couple pounds on the sideline before this is all said and done. The stress weight.
He was bragging to us before the game about how stress-free this season has been. I wonder if he's going to rethink that. A lot of time left in this game. 9 minutes. Langford from the corner. No, and Walker there all alone for the rebound. Oakland down 2, comes ahead. Big Ten versus the Horizon. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Michigan over Detroit Mercy earlier. You can hear every time Oakland does something well, those Wolverines fans who are still here come to life.
They got basically the same color on, so.
Not the lob, and the flush by Isaiah Brock.
Brock hasn't been able to do anything in this game. He's got 4 fouls and a nice setup from Neely.
Nairn finds a lane, kicks it out. Langford again from 3. This time he hits. Second 3 for Langford. He's got 17. Hayes for 3. Yeah! First field goal for Hayes in the second half. Tied again as we go under 8. Jackson spins. His shot is off. And that's going to be a jump ball. And the possession arrow will give it back to Oakland.
Playmaking abilities. Here's Isaiah Brock right here. Watch how he moves after the screen. The roll, the great setup from Braylon Neely. Got to elevate, got to stay in this game. Oakland is kicking it, 66-all.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Hitachi. Drive your career at greatengineeringcareers.com. Dr. Scholl's Massaging Gel Insoles. And Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
Christmas time in downtown Detroit. Caesars Arena, where we have got a great in-state battle between Oakland out of the Horizon and number 2 Michigan State out of the Big Ten. We've talked about the great defense Tom Izzo's team has played this year. They were terrific in the first half, limited Oakland to 31%. 33% coming into the game, but in the second half, look at this, 53% from the field for the Grizz.
And Oakland is shooting 43% from beyond the 3-point line. So Oakland and Kendrick Nunn, in my opinion, has been the catalyst and the confidence for this team to keep it alive. And I think everybody else has fed off of his energy.
He throws it away here. Turnover as Nunn tried to get it inside. 31 points for Nunn. 17 for Langford for Michigan State, but the Spartans give it right back. Sports Center tonight, 11:30 Eastern on ESPN. We'll talk about the AFC playoff picture. Melo on his return to New York in the top 10 plays of the college football season as the bowl season gets underway today. So coming up tonight on ESPN, this is going to be a part of the highlight package, I'm sure, on Sports Center. Upset alert here in Detroit for the Michigan State Spartans. 7 minutes to go. Nunn, the pass, Brock, no, tipped up, and Cassius Winston, one of the shorter guys on the floor, comes out of there with it. Everybody getting a touch for Michigan State. They can't capitalize as Jackson misses from in close.
It's exactly what you want to do. Again, off the 2-3 zone. Ball went middle, ball went short corner, and Jackson unable to finish on that play. And Brock, before, should have taken just a half second more, gotten his balance, and shifted that momentum forward. Dunk it.
He has not had a dominant game today. Goins with the pickoff.
2 silly turnovers from Oakland this last minute.
Jackson for three. How about the 6'11" freshman from downtown?
He'll take it. Tom Izzo will gladly let him shoot the three. He trusts him. He did it against Texas. He's doing it tonight.
How about that? Misses from short range and then steps out and hits a triple.
Sometimes you need a higher degree of difficulty.
None catch and shoot. Michigan State with a chance to add to the lead. Nairn left it behind. And out of bounds to Oakland. A missed opportunity for Tum Nairn. And Tom Izzo knows it.
Coach Izzo been relatively quiet over there despite the turnovers from his club. You know this has just got to fire him up so much from the inside. 14th turnover for Michigan State. 15th, excuse me.
Hayes paddling Jackson. He's up a few inches, and Jackson holding his ground. Walker got the loose ball, but here come the Spartans. And Nairn waits for reinforcement. Under 5 to play, another turnover. Here comes Walker in free flight.
Great defense anticipation for Walker, but the confidence to go step for step, knowing Miles Bridges is trailing him for that finish. His confidence has grown so much in this second half after that three-point shot.
Bridges for three. Bridges again for three. This time he connects.
Michigan State trying to go inside. They can't do it. Well, that's where their options kick in. Jaren Jackson with the big three. Miles Bridges follows that one up with a big three. So the offensive options for Michigan State, they are endless.
Bridges, who averages around 16, now with 11. Spinning inside as Hayes can't get it to go.
I think that's a good shot, but at the same time, I think if Hayes is getting back down, he's trying to back down Jaren Jackson. Kick that ball out.
We got an official's timeout. Tom Izzo wondering why play was stopped.
I'm not sure I know why play was stopped just yet.
As Tom Izzo gets the explanation, we'll try to get it too. Timeout on the floor. It's a 4-point lead for the Spartans. Brooke, we now know why play was stopped.
Well, here's Isaiah Brock up in the left-hand part of your screen. And we were told by officials that there was a stoppage because they thought there might be an injury to Brock and wanted to make sure he was okay, but
I don't know that I've ever called a game or been in a game where it's just stopped in the middle of play like that. Is that possible?
He was slow getting back up the floor, and one of the officials suspected an injury, decided to stop play. You can see Tom Izzo, he was livid on the Michigan State sideline there because they had an odd man situation. The clock was stopped. That was our media timeout under 4, by the way. The three for Winston coming out of that timeout, so it works out for the Spartans regardless. The lead goes to 7 now for Michigan State. Nunn drops it inside for Hayes. Didn't get it to the rim. Well defended by the freshman Jackson.
That same shot again has not worked 3 times in a row for Jalen Hayes. He's getting great position, but he's got a defender who's got more size and more length when he tries to shoot the ball. He's got to kick it out.
6-0 run for Michigan State. Another 3-ball. Yeah! And the Spartans are taking the air out of Oakland's upset bid, as it's now a 10-point lead. Offensive foul. Kendrick Nunn with the charge. And Greg Campy trying to light a fire under his Grizzlies.
Oh, he's fired up. The rotation on the zone is not there. So when Michigan State kicks it to the corner, it might be Hayes who needs to step out and defend that three. That's probably the conversation that's going on right now. They have to do a better job of rotating, of communicating. And Greg Campy knows this game could be well out of reach in just 1 minute. Here's the rotation we're talking about. You kick it to the corner, that's got to be Hayes. That's exactly what he was saying. You got to step up and fill in the help on the backside, but you can't leave that shooter wide open on the wing.
Greg Campy, one of the great coaches that isn't exactly a household name in this country. 34 years on the sidelines at Oakland. Came to the school in 1984 when they were still a Division II program. He's taken the Grizz to 3 NCAA tournaments. He has a great team again this year that's going to compete in the Horizon League, but Michigan State has gone on a 9-0 run over the last minute 40. Winston, shovel pass to Jackson, and he's called for the offensive foul. That's his fourth.
Number 2, Jaron Jackson. That's his 4th personal and 6th team foul.
Palambizio is going to come back in for Oakland.
Grizzlies number 15, Chris Palambizio.
And Jackson will go to the bench
And back for Michigan State.
as Bridges checks back in for the Spartans. Big possession for Oakland.
Yeah, I think for Michigan State, you're going to see the defense really turn up here. A lot of pressure on the guards.
Hayes. A little bit better matchup for him against Goins than it was against Jackson.
And an extra move, too. You saw that first step, the pivot, turnaround, pump fake, but then he used some of his length. He stepped under the basket and helped use that as an extra shot blocker.
Kendrick Nunn just picked up his 4th as we go under 2 minutes to play. So Winston will go to the line.
That means 2 shots.
And he'll shoot 2.
Number 5,
Cassius Winston. No points in the first half. And he's got 12 in the game now. So he has really come to life since halftime.
5 rebounds, 3 assists. He's had a great game, except for those 6 turnovers. I'm sure there'll be an extra film session for Mr. Winston come next week.
Winston with tons of friends and family in attendance here today. He's a Detroit native. Went to the high school game last night. University of Detroit Jesuit High School. That's where he played. Nunn over the top of the backboard. Kendrick Nunn with a great effort in this ball game. You wonder if it's going to be enough though.
31 points, and we didn't even think we were going to see him on the floor today, and possibly not even the season. So for him to come out and put on this kind of performance with that effort says a lot about this young man and how he's been able to dig down deep despite the pain. Dealing with an ankle cartilage injury, tendonitis, still getting the lift, still getting 31 points. That's a day's work.
Pressure from the Grizz. Walker's 6'6", but he's got about a 7-foot wingspan. Spartans able to get it in. Bridges lopes into the front court. And they get it to Winston. Winston makes a move, floats it up and in. And now we've got a technical foul. They're going to call a technical foul on Bridges. Did you see it, Brooke?
I didn't see if there was maybe a reaction or maybe he said something off the shot, if there was some extra activity down low.
And Izzo is expressing his frustration. for a sophomore.
Cassius Winston able to create something out of nothing. He's so good at the broken play, making something beautiful out of the end. And a nice finger roll. Bridges is frustrated, certainly for that call. So is Coach Izzo.
It was an elbow for Bridges coming back down the floor, and here's another look.
You see, it was he and Kendrick Nunn that got into a shoving match.
So Nunn gets 1 of 2 at the line. And Oakland will have the ball with 1:27 to go down 11.
So dead ball, contact, technical foul is what they assess Bridges with.
Walker's been so good here in the second half. He attacks, can't get it to go. Winston, another rebound for Michigan State. And they have firmly taken control here in the last minute or so. And there's Winston sneaking to the basket again, untouched. And the air has come out of this one for Greg Campy and the Grizzlies.
And to put up the fight that they did to keep Michigan State on the ropes for as long as they have today says a lot about this team, who again is shorthanded. Some of your bigger post players like Brad Brechting won't even be back till the end of January. Other big guys getting into foul trouble. So the way that the Grizzlies were able to respond, and they have a lot of grit, and the Horizon League is going to be a toughie.
They're the favorite to win it again this year. They won the regular season last year. Greg Campy said, you know, if it weren't for the injuries, and if I had a healthy Kendrick Nunn, which it looks like he's pretty close to getting back to health, I've got a top 25 team. We've seen that here today. 40 seconds to go. And for Tom Izzo's team, some mistakes, tight contest, but looks like they're going to escape. Tom Cotter scores in the lane. A half minute to go. Next 5 games at home for the Spartans. They don't go on the road again until January 7th at Ohio State. Their next game Monday night against Houston Baptist. How's that stress thing going for Tom Izzo?
I think today I have a little more stress, but he's got to feel good about getting out of here with the win, knowing this game was going to be tough. It's a rivalry game. You got exams. You got the holiday break coming up. This was a huge win for Michigan State.
Foul on Neely sends Winston to the line. Cassius Winston. 18 points all in the second half.
Number 0, Chris Gilbert.
What a timeout here.
Timeout, Michigan State. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Michigan State wants to play in this building in March during the NCAA tournament. Little Caesars Arena is going to be the host site for the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. And you got to think, Brooke, that if the Spartans are one of the top 4 seats, one of the number 1 seats in the big dance, that they'll be right here in Detroit.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. The way that they're playing this season, I can't see any reason why they wouldn't be a heavy consideration for a 1 seed. You're right. Talk about the upcoming games before you get started and really hit your Big Ten Conference season hard. Michigan
won today. They slammed Detroit Mercy 90-58. 5 guys in double figures. The Spartans and Wolverines are going to play once this regular season. That's January 13th in East Lansing. And that's always a fun date. Michigan State's going to get out of this one with a win. Walker, the 3, no. Cotter flies in, has it blocked by Jackson. That's going to do it. 13-point win for Michigan State. But it was a lot closer than that for the Lions' share of this game, especially there in the midway point of the second half.
I think there's moments where Tom Izzo will look back and say, hey, we really have to improve some of the cleanup parts of the game, the turnovers, allowing some of the three-point shots for Oakland, but overall getting out of here with the win, that's huge for Michigan State. This Oakland team was ready to come in here and fight. They were not intimidated at all by the number 2 in that ranking in front of the Spartans. They played hard despite foul trouble, despite injuries, but a win for the Spartans.
They shoot almost 52% as a team. They have 5 guys in double figures today, led by Winston, who scored all of his 19 points in the second half.
Yeah, that's incredible considering the first half that he had to make up for it, to make good decisions, to get some points on the board. You know, at a time where Michigan State's defense started to low. He's the one that ignited it again.
Tom Izzo is making his way over to have a chat with us. We'll see how the blood pressure's doing about now after a tough battle with in-state rival Oakland. A 13-point difference in this game, Tom, but in recent years, especially on a neutral court, Oakland has always given you a battle, and that was the case again today.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they got a good team, you know. I mean, they got a good team, and if they hit those threes like they hit in the second half, they can be a very good team. I thought when they went to Hayes, though, it was, you know, if they could find a happy medium in there, I think they'd really be better off. But, you know, I thought we did such a great job defensively the first half, but the second half, you know, we didn't do nearly as good a job, and you know, we got a little frustrated. They hit some great threes, but I think the big part of the game is we took some punches, and you know, Miles came back, hit a big 3. Cassius was not playing very good. He had more turnovers than Carter's got liver pills, and then he made 2 big threes. We went to him though. You know, that was the cool thing. Just like at Rutgers, we called 2 plays for him, and he went to him and hit 6 big points, and that was the difference in the game.
Cassius Winston, terrific in the second half for you, Coach. Congratulations on the win. The
Appreciate
Detroit native Cassius Winston, 19 points all after halftime. The Spartans avoid an upset, 86-73 the final. 5 players in double figures for the Spartans. Will go back home for the next 5 games. For Brooke Weisbrod and her entire crew, I'm Clay Matvick saying so long from downtown Detroit. Happy holidays. We now send you out to Harrisonburg, Virginia for the second semifinal of the FCS Football Championship.